you want to share the president into little pieces. You cannot. You know, you have to be realistic. What determines ethnicity? If you look at the Jubilee program, it doesn't matter which program, whether it is the roads, it is in every county. If it is our electricity program, it is in every county. If it is our free maternity program, it is in every county. Every other government rollout of programs is in counties that are national.
But based on what is happening...
Whether we are looking at other government appointments, whether it is parastatal appointments, whether it is... We have balanced the whole country.
So you're saying you're not going to change anything. What you're doing is right now.
In fact, the reason why you have 10 members of parliament joining Jubilee from Western is because they know we are fair. The reason why you have 15 members of parliament from Coast joining Jubilee is because they have seen the fairness with which we have governed this country.
They say they're doing that because of the money. But we have seen, I mean, what is happening in the country, even basing it on social media, and I'm sure you've seen that, what is happening. There's a lot of hate on social media, on all social media platforms. You cannot honestly say the country is not really divided,
but you see, Hussein, if you depend on social media can announce your funeral and invite you to it, right, when you are alive. So let's not exaggerate what social media can do.
But does it show you something?
What divides the country? What divides the country is ethnic scheming. You know, the fact that you think you want to change the constitution to satisfy 2-3 people because that's how you remove tribalism. The thinking that you go to Kajiado and tell the Maasais you need to get rid of everybody from here because what are they doing here? That is hate. And that is what drives ethnicity. You go to another corner of the country, tell them something that you think is good for their ears, not knowing the kind of irresponsibility you are driving into the ethnic confusion that will end up tearing the country apart.
So you don't think the country is more divided than you found it in 2013?
I think the country is more united than we found it in 2013, my friend.
Based on what?
Based on what we have done.
Okay, that is of course for people to judge.
Today, my friend, let me tell you, maybe because you haven't been on the campaign trail, today, in areas where we could not talk, in Bungoma, for example, we have maybe 50% of following, maybe more. Do you seriously think that Bungoma would be moving towards Jubilee? Kakamega would be entertaining Jubilee. Kilifi would be entertaining Jubilee if we were driving an ethnic agenda. The Kenyans are not fools.
Right.
They can see.
That will see.
They can feel.
That will see on August 8th.
Some of the roads we've done, for example, in Bamba, the road to Bamba, is a road that was sung 30, 40 years ago. Today, that road is 70% tarmacked.
Right.
You know, those people can see. You can talk as much as possible about, oh, this is an ethnic government, but what the people see on the ground is different.
Right, that we'll see on August 8th. Finally, Your Excellency, if we can just move a bit fast now, I want to talk about education, and stakeholders have been questioning the government's commitment to education. And you're talking about free secondary education.
Yes.
But they question whether you will really be committed to doing this. Why? Because for one, the primary education is not entirely free. And it has been documented. For example, a primary school kid today going to school, joining any public primary school has to be charged around 2,500 or 2,000 shillings for school enrollment. Okay? The capitation you gave in 2003 when it was introduced was 1,000 shillings. Until 2017, just last year, only 200 shillings was added on that, which is really, really not enough. In secondary education, the Kilemi Muria Task Force proposed 53,000 shillings for boarding schools, 9,000 for day schools. We have seen several times secondary schools, public, flouting this, some charging as much as 900,000. How can the Kenyans trust you to do this about secondary school education when all the things have been happening, nothing much is being done about it, ultimately eroding on the quality of education?
Let me tell you, Hussein, the things we've done on the education sector. I know I'll come to what you're saying. We've done what you exactly said. We've enhanced capitation by 35%. Enhanced capitation, yeah, by 35%. we have the process of making secondary school free is not a process that we woke up one morning and said we're going to do it, unlike our competitors, yeah, who woke up and said they will have it free in September. This is a first out project, a program. One, we started with enhancing capitation in 2013. We put money to eliminate exams in 2016. We've put money in this year's budget, 9 billion shillings, to make sure that we construct additional classrooms in all secondary schools, so that next year, when we roll the free secondary program, we have enough classrooms to get our children to. And for your information, any school charging for the enrollment of any child in Kenya is flouting the law.
But they've been doing it.
And we've taken action.
They're still
for
doing
your information. We've taken action. Whenever it has been brought to our attention, we've taken action. And for your information, we will be paying, and that is already matters that we've factored in. We will be paying from January next year every coin that is required for our children to attend secondary school. We've worked out the mathematics. That is why we phased it out, because we knew a lot of resources would be required. And like our competitors who woke up from slumber and decided to say, oh, we are also going to do free secondary.
And again, the issues of funding come about, and you've been talking about it, we talked about it earlier. But of course, we cannot exhaust everything in the manifesto. Of course, it's up to Kenyans to read it, and Kenyans will be the judge or judges ultimately on August 8th. But we thank you so much.
Let me say the following in conclusion. There are even some of the things, for example, Hussein, who our competitors have seen. They say they are going to do the dual carriageway from Mombasa to Nakuru to Malaba. For your information, that is a program we advertised last year. That's already done. I don't know why they want to put it in a manifesto, something that has been done by Jubilee. In fact, we are in the final stages of working that out. They have told us about the road from Garissa to Mandera. We've done 70% of that road, already funded. They told us that they are going to...
Done as in constructed? Because you haven't seen it.
We have already contractors on site. In fact, 140 kilometers of it has been done. Right? In fact, we went there physically to launch part of that road. Right? Money is already allocated, contractors are already on site to do that. So them, they are still configuring that this is something they will come and do. They are not even updating themselves on what's going on the ground. They've told us that they are going to have a debt management directorate at Treasury. For your information, Hussein, a debt management directorate exists today in Treasury, complete with a director.
Okay.
That tells you these are people who have either copied something from somewhere, they have no clue where it is going. They've also told us that they want to digitize government. Hussein, today on your phone, you can access 31 government services, including on e-citizen. On e-citizen. Then they are thinking that they're going to plan on how to do it. These are programs we have rolled. Today you can renew your license online. You can apply for your passport online. You can apply for your... in fact, let me give you an example. When we were required, when we were filing our returns for this election, we were required for a certificate of good conduct. For your information, I got it online. I applied for it online on e-citizen. It was sent to me on email. I printed it out, and many people did it. So some of the things they tell us they want to do, I don't know whether they live in Kenya.
Okay.
Some of these things have already been done.
Right. So
let me give you two last things. Very last things. There is a world of a difference between the manifesto we have put forward and the manifesto our competitors have put forward. Let me give you just 3 examples. Number one, they want to tell us that they want to change the constitution. We believe that, and they want to take us to a hybrid system that is unaccountable. The reason why we went for either a purely parliamentary or a purely presidential election constitution is because we wanted accountability. The moment you have a president that doubles up with matters to do with the executive and the legislature, you are in trouble. That is where we came from. We're not about to go back. Number 2, they are telling us about NHIF. They want to abolish NHIF, replace it with something else. NHIF, my friend, has done miracles in our country. And number 3, they are talking about digitizing government, which we have already done. And lastly, they are talking about food security. They have no agenda on food security. We do.
Okay. And we'll give the opportunity to the National Super Alliance tomorrow night to also come and tell us more about their manifesto. As I said, the Honorable Deputy President, thank you so much for making time.
Thank you very much,
for
Hussein.
us tonight. Really
thank you for having me.
Thank you. And of course, Kenyans that ultimately will be the judge on August 8th. Keep talking to us. The hashtag is GameTime2017 on Twitter. You can text us on 22422. We are back after this break.